What's the most amazing thing about the universe? The only way we can see the universe is from inside it. We will likely never possess any way of viewing our universe from outside its physicality. We send a drone out, but does that extend the universe then? A single human brain has as many neurons as there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy, around 100 billion. Source: I'm neuroscientist filled with useless facts about the brain. This is one I thought about recently. I believe that Carl Sagan said that we, sentient entities, are a way for the cosmos to know itself. With this in mind, when we think about the end of our universe, whether it be through a big shrink, big cooling, or what have you, we get apprehensive. We probably will never see this end. Many of us will be dead, yet, we still get a cold fear in our hearts. We are also a way for the cosmos to fear its demise. Through our eyes, the universe is perceiving itself. Through our ears, the universe is listening to its harmonies. We are the witnesses through which the universe becomes conscious of its glory, of its magnificence. Alan Watts: you are not in the universe, you are the universe, an intrinsic part of it. Ultimately you are not a person, but a focal point where the universe is becoming conscious of itself. What an amazing miracle, Eckhart Tolle. Whales are the biggest known creatures in the known universe. They're the biggest animal, but the biggest organism is an aspen tree colony that has expanded over miles. And the second largest animal is your mama. We are a long way off from truly understanding the origin and ending of the universe, but we have good theories and time will see that knowledge refined into fact. This is because we live at just the right time. Remember how galaxies are actually flying apart. This movement is also accelerating. Galactic structures will fly apart faster and faster. They will eventually exceed the speed at which we could ever hope to travel. They may exceed or match the speed of light, but that means that light shining from these quickly receding galaxies will ever reach us, and no ship could ever catch up to them. They will not see cosmic background radiation, so you couldn't see them with any kind of telescope. You'd see stuff in your local group and that's it, and you'd think that the universe is a foamy cluster of galaxies that has an ending. Future civilizations may never know the true nature of the universe and could think it finite. That every single random event since the dawn of creation, the birth and death of stars, planets and galaxies, the very genesis of life has led to you being here right now to ask this question, and I, making this useless comment. Thanks universe. If you were on a planet 65 million light years away from Earth and had a really good telescope, you could see the dinosaurs. That it exists, and it came from somewhere, or nowhere. I really hate thinking about this kind of stuff. It kinda feels like if I think too hard about why matter exists or where it came from and other similar questions, that everything might suddenly come undone or cease to exist. I'd say that's fair if my Sims started glaring at me with raised eyebrows instead of going about their busy lives. I'd turn off the computer too. It must be true that either 1. It didn't exist, then it did, or 2. It has always existed. What even is time? The space in which space can't change. The space of space. I'm so mindfucked right now. Hydrogen plus time equals people and planets. Hydrogen, given enough time, will send unsolicited dick pics. In order to bake apple pie you must first create the universe. To be pedantic, if you want to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first create the universe. Carl Sagan. That somehow all the particles accumulated in a specific way and in specific quantities to give you conscious thought. There are 10 million particles in the universe that we can observe. Your mama took the ugly ones and put them into one nerd. Flashback to 2012. It gave us magnets. How do those work? Magnets are fucking magic. Aligning particles with each other makes them fly towards themselves. Miss me with that hob-knocking physics bollocks. TIL the phrase hob-knocking bollocks. It's indifferent to everything. Yes, it's incredible to think that for all of our morals, our ideas of good karma and bad karma, what goes around comes around, etc. These ideas that feel so ingrained to the world we live in are all mere thoughts in our head, and that the world, the universe, is not just, and seems nothing as good or bad, guilty or innocent, but simply as is, something I simply cannot comprehend. With words, I don't care. The universe doesn't even care enough to say that. Inanimate/non-living objects eventually formed to make sentient living beings that questioned their own existence and want to find facts about the process between the beginning of the universe to now, and even want to anticipate the future. All from some hydrogen shits floating around and doing stuff kinda similar. Everything we have on this earth comes from this earth. This means that it was always possible to have electricity, planes, internet, Wi-Fi, mobile phones, etc. even in the Stone Ages. Humans just hadn't invented it yet. Just takes a while to figure stuff out. There is a theory which states that if ever anyone discovers exactly what the universe is for and why it is here, it will instantly disappear and be replaced by something even more bizarre and inexplicable. There is another theory which states that this has already happened. Douglas Adams. In the beginning the universe was created. This had made many people very angry and has been widely regarded as a bad move. We apologize for the inconvenience. Got that we just don't understand it. It could be flat. It could be irregular. There could be another one. It's growing at an exponential speed. It's invisible contents. We try to learn more about it using our earthly knowledge, but there is certainly more to it. It's like trying to wrap your head around eternity. This exactly. We don't know what is out there and can only really guess through theories from our already obtained knowledge, which as of today is most likely just a drop in the ocean compared to the universe in its entirety. Because of this the potential is endless, and that idea is very exciting and terrifying. We could all be dead tomorrow by some shit we didn't know was coming. That it doesn't exist to be observed. In fact, under different circumstances all of its trillions of stars and planets and oceans and moons and mountains could exist for billions of years without ever being observed by anyone. They might very well have existed for 14 billion years before consciousness was a thing here, but not 15 billion. Never 15 billion. Just you wait. Alexander Hamilton. If you nut in space you move backwards. Do you have videographic evidence of this? Spacehub.com. SpaceXXX.com. Love the musky smell of this one. That it created self-aware entities that think about it. Given enough time hydrogen gives itself a name. Given enough time hydrogen atoms will start to masturbate. Given enough time hydrogen atoms will draw Beganimatedis. Given enough time hydrogen atoms will be Beganimatedis. Imagine for the moment that the universe began in a truly colossal flash of light. For the first several eons, there was little more than dust, slowly being drawn together by a combination of gravity and electromagnetism. Then, as stars formed and gave birth to planets, and as complex molecules came together, the beginnings of life emerged. At first, this life was incredibly simple, barely capable of surviving to reproduce, let alone contemplating its own existence. As the ages passed, though, it gave rise to more and more complexity, eventually resulting in beings who could look up at the stars that had birthed them and wonder why these creatures, driven by something they could scarcely comprehend, set about trying to define their place in world and explain how they came to inhabit it. Its size compared to its speed limit. Edit. The visible universe is 98 billion light years across and only 13.8 billion years old. Nothing travels faster than the speed of light. It would take you longer than the universe has existed to reach most points in the visible universe even if you could travel at near light speed. That's if the universe was static. It's not. The universe isn't only expanding, the rate of expansion is accelerating. The size of the greater universe is estimated to be 250 times larger than the visible universe and 7 trillion light years across. The overwhelming majority of the universe can never be seen because it's growing faster than light can travel across it. Eventually all of the visible universe will be so far away that its light will never reach us, and the visible universe will be limited to our local cluster of galaxies. Hydrogen atoms in the sun don't have sufficient energy for fusion to occur. The only reason there is fusion, and thus a star, life, and you reading this, is due to the particle wave duality of matter, the probabilistic nature of quantum physics, and the process of quantum tunneling. The fact that people have been around for thousands of years and I just happen to exist at the same time as 6ix9ine. The universe is expanding so fast that there are galaxies we would never be able to view. It gave us titties, and other things. You know us, now kiss. Sand, hear me out. Without sand we wouldn't have glass. So we wouldn't have telescopes to see the larger universe, or microscopes to see the amazing macro universe around us. We wouldn't have the car, space travel or spectacles. Sand also gives us bricks, cement, and roads to make cities. Our homes are mostly just piles of sand. Sand makes land, islands in the middle of nowhere, and gives us something to hold on to all those oceans with. Put a bunch together and you get mountains and planets. Sand pretty damn amazing. We can do amazing things with it, and it probably exists on most planets. That it is the only thing that makes our existence possible. As far as we know, the universe is literally all there is in this world. Why? What if it just didn't exist and there was nothing? Why is there something? Why is our one lonely planet the only one we know of which hosts organisms that are actually able to experience reality? What's the point of it all? Uranus. No. No. Our anus. This kind of unity will save us. I don't know. I don't want my anus to be collectively owned by everyone. It must be really shitty. The odds of sperm cells meeting egg cells to create just the right person that happened meet just right person for the process to continue over and over again for millions and millions of years, billions if you include our predecessors, just so that you exist. By all accounts it doesn't make sense that you're here. Enjoy it. You have been visited by the smart studying doggo. You'll be blessed with good grades only if you subscribe to Comment Awards and like the video. PG! On top, food chain, won't stop, new game, hot box at Blue Haze, 1 lock, 2 chains, no bras, 2 babes, mic drop, new stage, lights in my rear view, 5 cops, pool race, faster than a Tesla, they say I'm exhausted.